warm in South Korea, and a local ranch from here in Oregon played a big part in making that happen. Jeannie Carver from Imperial Stock Ranch is here. So yes, you guys, literally, I mean months ago, the wool came from Imperial Stock Ranch in North Central Oregon from your sheep, and now, next week, 2 weeks from now, I think 2 weeks from tonight, it will be worn at the opening ceremonies. How do you feel?
It's kind of amazing, isn't it?
It's ridiculously amazing.
You can never get used to the idea of what happens. It's just like a little miracle that just comes into your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on this table, we have the Ralph Lauren opening and closing ceremonies outfits for this year's Olympics 2018. And then, but this is not your first rodeo, right?
That is not my first rodeo. That is correct. We've been working on this for almost 20 years. Wow. Since 1999, we began our new journey down a value-added effort in wool. We had sold wool as a commodity for almost 130 years. That's what ranchers did. But in '99, that was no longer available as the offshoring took over and much of U.S. textile infrastructure closed. We had to find a new way to keep sheep present on the landscape, and we had a real heart to do that. And so I began the journey, which led to finding a way within this country, as close to home as possible, to get the raw wool to yarn and into knitwear and other products. And 13 years later, I got what became known as the call.
The call.
The call.
Dun, dun, dun. We need some like dramatic sound effects for this.
It was dramatic. I was outside when I took the call. The phone rang and I picked it up and I thought it was a gentleman from a yarn store. We had yarn in hundreds of stores. And he said, no, I'm with product development for Polo Ralph Lauren in New York.
Right.
And I said, you're kidding me. I thought somebody was joking. But he said, no, I'm sitting here on Madison Avenue. And I said, well, I'm sitting out here in the Oregon desert.
Oh my goodness.
And it began a conversation which culminated in a visit by a design team a month later. Once they got on site, they began clutching this yarn. And I thought, wow,
how cozy it
maybe
is.
This really is possible.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not just a dream. And about 6 months later, it became an order for yarn for what became the opening ceremony sweater for Team USA in Sochi.
This is actually the uniform from Sochi opening ceremonies. Of course, you saw it on television then, and then now, right next to it.
Yes, well, we had a great evolution. The visibility with Ralph Lauren changed our life. We got hundreds of requests from designers and companies to work with Imperial Stock Ranch with an American yarn to make product in America, and Ralph Lauren was a big influence in that. And so they really gave a shot in the arm to people thinking about making product in America again. And so in early 15, one of the strongest mills in the US, National Spinning Company, Inc., approached us about a licensing partnership built on the value of Imperial Stock Ranch's now 147-year history, our sustainability practices, our sheep and wool production, and together National Spinning and Imperial Stock Ranch met with Ralph Lauren's design and production teams and brought a new model that was streamlined in terms of management. So later that year,
and by the way, right now you're looking at video of Jackie Wiles, who will be one of the Oregonian athletes wearing.
Fantastic.
And Nick Gepper, also trained up on Mount Hood. They'll be wearing these outfits in just a few days. Sorry to interrupt. Just want to make sure people knew what they were looking at.
So later that year, National Spinning launched the branded yarn program, Imperial Stock Ranch American Merino. And when Ralph Lauren got ready to do Olympic development, they asked for those samples. And ultimately, this is what happened. The opening and closing Team USA knitwear are made with the Imperial Stock Ranch American Merino yarn program provided by National Spinning Company. So this is a closing. Look at these three pieces. You have the hat with this beautiful intarsia knit, which you can see carried over in this piece also. The mittens are really fun. Did you try these on?
Yes, I love these.
Yeah, they open up.
They're a little big for my hands, but
these are a large
show your
size.
fingers.
And
you
your
can do all
thumb.
your tweeting, your selfie taking, you know, while you're in the opening ceremony or the closing ceremony, and your thumb. And then, of course, we have to say, because they'll be very warm, this will be their base layer, but then the athletes have an outer layer.
They have an outer waterproof heated jackets, which are made, everything, of course, is made in America.
And it actually has heaters in the jacket, which just blows my mind and is crazy, because you were telling me it's an outdoor venue for the opening and closing ceremonies. It's an outdoor venue, and expect it to be very cold. So they put wool, the best insulating natural fiber that exists, truly a miracle fiber. They put wool
close to the athletes to keep them warm, covered with this shell. So it's really fantastic. And then just Monday, they unveiled the opening ceremony sweater for Team USA. These are 100% wool. All of the clothing are 100% wool. This hat for the opening ceremonies is 100% wool. And for the first time, Ralph Lauren also involved American alpaca. The opening sweater is 70% American wool, 30% American alpaca. So there's 5 items, and the core of it is wool, but it's all American fibers.
And so much of it coming from North Central Oregon from Imperial Stock Ranch. Thank you so much, Jeannie.
You're welcome.
We could talk about this for hours. We could model the clothes, but unfortunately, well, this of course made a big difference in your guys' future.
It did.
But we want to learn about someone else's future.